thank my crew, but I don't have one.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Motorsport Atlantic, brought to you by the members of the Atlantic Sports Car Club. My name is Debbie Clark. For our show today, we have coming up some of our 40th anniversary rally that we held a little earlier in the summer to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the Atlantic Sports Car Club. We also have a couple of interviews with two local racers who are also known as IMSA drivers, John Nicholson and Dave Smith, who competed at the Moosehead Grand Prix this year and are going on to do another IMSA race in August as well. But first we have for you the annual Fans Delight at Scotia Speed World. It's the ACT Tour. Stock car fans always look forward to this particular event, and as usual, it was very well attended by both spectators and competitors. A fairly good evening, a bit of a late start for it, but we have the general manager, Ed Rains of Scotia Speed World, to give us a little insight into the ACT Tour for 1995.
Season we moved our hobby stock, which we called Dukes last year, to Saturday night at 7 o'clock from Friday night at 8. And joining them this year is the Legends, the small 5/8 scale 30s and 40s Fords and Chevs. We also have our regular show that we had last year on Sunday night at 6, which is the Maritime Tire late models, the Thruway Muffler street stocks, the Beaverbank Auto, Fabulous Fours, and of course the popular Penhorn Mall Women on Wheels. The hobby stock cars are all straight six cylinder cars with rear-wheel drive, automatic transmissions, with basically very little performance modifications. They have a basic safety bar installed, and of course a safety harness for the protection of the drivers, and a steel panel mounted on the outside of the driver's side of the car. The Legends are fiberglass body, fully manufactured race cars. They have 1200cc Yamaha engines. They run with the Yamaha transmission and have a narrow Toyota truck rear end in them. They're a very high performance car. They have about 120 horsepower and approximately 1,200 pound car. The Thruway Muffler street stocks is the basic V8 North American car, again, automatic transmission. It has a full steel body on it. Again, very little performance modification in the engine. They can have a full roll cage inside the car. The Maritime Tire late models are a little bit more performance oriented. They have more modifications done to the engine. They have the factory steel body stripped off and it's replaced with an aluminum or fiberglass body of manufactured strictly for use in racing. They have much more roll cage built into them. They're a stiffer car, and they run on a treaded race tire. The front-wheel drive series are four-cylinder automatic front-wheel drive automobiles. And again, they have similar to the hobby stock class, they have a built-in safety bar in the back and the steel plate on the outside of the car. The Penhorn Mall Women on Wheels run in their cars are built to hobby stock rules, although many of the women now are coming out with their own cars and aren't using the cars of their husbands or boyfriends. Yeah. We're very excited to have the American-Canadian ACT Tour return here to Nova Scotia after a 1 year's absence. We're very happy to get them here. It's a good opportunity for our competitors to have a more equal footing in racing against them. Every year we've gone down there and done well, particularly at the Oxford 250. So we're really excited to see how the local boys do here in the Celluland 150. We're also very happy to have Celluland on board. It was a new company in this area. They've been around apparently since 1985. And it looks like they're going to be a good supporter of motorsport here. The Celluland 150 is the most exciting race of the year because it does draw from drivers from a wider area. The cars, compared to our regular MassCar series, are not significantly different. The ACT cars regularly run with a 4-barrel carburetor, whereas the MassCar cars have to run a 2-barrel carburetor when they run our series. The MassCars are slightly wider in track and have to narrow the car up to run with the ACT Tour. And a few other small minor changes are made, but there's not a lot of difference between them.
For the double, the cat, John Rager.
Now, the winner for the Celluland 150, the AC Tour that we were just looking at, was our local favorite, number 00, Scott Fraser. And it had been as a second place, number 99 for Greg Seward, but I understand he's been disqualified for an illegal engine. So that moves a gentleman from Maine up into third place, number 37, Larry Galanis, is now in second place. It moves Dennis Demeras from Vermont up into third place. John Fleming from Halifax will be next, and Bobby White from Kennecook. So that was quite an interesting event, I guess. You never know exactly when you leave if you know exactly who the winners were. Our next bid is about our 40th anniversary rally. ASCC is 40 years old this year, and we thought we'd devote a rally particularly to that little event. We have a few other anniversary parties going on during the course of the year, but it's been quite a while since ASCC has done a rally or competed in a rally, and our new rally director, Mr. Ben Fullerton from Fall River, who has been a former rally director for the club, is back. He organized a rally for us, and Walter Tennant is starting out doing registration in Sunnyside for this what turned out to be a very wet event. We'll show you exactly what we mean.
Ben, because I'm not running, I'm just going to move everybody up to that 2-minute interval. Right? Oh, is it? Okay. Nope. Wait till you're going 3 times. And hands here. Oh, I know who to look for now. Don McTavish and Lee. Kurt McTavish.
Never even go wet. Let's do that.
See? You're getting ready to go. No, I'm not. I'm number 10. First number 10. Well, they should know. The Duncans haven't gone yet.
Oh, they must be number 1, the Duncans.
Their official timeout is 2 minutes after the... Their car number times 2 added to 12:30. You got that, Walter?
Yeah, you're close.
There's a couple areas there.
I'd say
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
What's the one better, right?
there's Ken Jarvis, I think.
How many coming now, Ben?
2 of them. And I think a third and a fourth. We got,
Well, gee, I don't, I'm just putting...
we've got 4 in a row here, Nan.
Yeah, no, but I don't know who's riding what car.
Yeah, well, I'm taping them, so it's going to be kind of jiggly, but I am taping them.
You think this might have an adverse effect on the solo?
You want us to wide in?
No, I said they're just coming in.
Okay, well, I can't...
That's him just coming across there now. Oh, he hit the deepest part of the whole thing. Wow!
No, there isn't, unfortunately. Holy to go. My God, that thing's so quiet, that generator.
That's not good.
You're even not going to walk out the stairs. I'm in a river no matter what way I look at it. It matters.
Oh, wow! Hey, look at the bow wave. Yeah, the doors.
Oh, look who's driving now.
Well, there's another car just came in. I don't know if it's one of ours or not.
Yeah, that's one I saw along the route, yeah.
Well, as long as there have been cars, there have been enthusiasts, and we have certainly a solid, hardcore following of people here. This is the 40th anniversary of the Atlantic Sports Car Club, and anyone who may be faithful followers of Motorsport Atlantic might remember that we did a show similar to this 10 years ago. Actually, these two faces you see right here were probably talking about all of the activities we were planning for our 30th anniversary. I'm, of course, Debbie Clark, and this is the 40th anniversary organizer, Mr. Ben Fullerton.
Thank you very much. It was really great fun doing this. I wish that I had started a little bit earlier so we could have had more of the old-timers here, but it was really worthwhile and made me very happy to see all these people again. And one of the things we did was get sort of a quick opinion poll, and the next one should be in another 5 years' time. But we're still celebrating this year. The club is observing the whole year as the 40th anniversary year. So we are looking at probably sometime in October doing a follow-up on this with hopefully a bit wider distribution of invitations. But you know, I've been talking to a lot of my friends that I have seen off and on over the years, and for the last 3 or 4 years now, it's been, we've got to have a get-together. We've got to have a club reunion. We've got to get the old gang together. So here it was.
Now, this was rather unique for us, too, because it's been a long time since ASCC has actually had a rally, and we had a rally this afternoon with quite a few entries, thanks to you and your hard work.
Yes, 17, and it had the flavor of a rally. It had most of the components there, but because there were a lot of the old-timers that hadn't rallied for a long time, probably 30 years for some of them, we just gave them enough extra information that would not normally have been included to make sure that everybody found their way here without getting way off route or way out of time or whatever. It was intended to be a trip down memory lane type rally, and from some of the feedback I've had, I think it was.
Oh, I think it was very successful, and not just for old-timers who may not have rallied for a while, but for a lot of new people, too, that had, this is their introduction to the sport, and I think they had a great time with it.
I tried to put in enough. I had those people in mind as well, and I tried to put in enough that people that had never rallied before would get sort of a taste of what it's all about, and I'd like to see the club get back into rallying. I noticed the position of rally director is vacant, and who knows.
Well, we certainly need some help. I know things go through changes. There are cycles for everything, and right now, solo events or the parking lot gymkhanas that sometimes you catch us doing on Motorsport Atlantic, as well as racing at Atlantic Motorsport Park, they always seem to be taking up everybody's time and interest. But rally, I think there is going to be a niche there with the good, reliable cars and the air conditioning. It's going to be a lot more comfortable to do something like that on a very wet or very hot afternoon.
One of the bits of feedback I did have was from the girlfriend of one of the current club members, and she said, I wish they would have more rallies because solo events you can go and stand on the sidelines and watch, but when you're in a rally, you're actually doing things together. And she liked that idea. And I think that he sort of picked up on that and thought, well, that's a good idea, too.
Well, that's true. It's something, of course, the family can go out for a solo event or for a race, but to actually be part of the competition, I hadn't thought of that before, but it does include a little bit more than just the driver.
Oh, yes, it's very much a team effort. In some of the stage rallies, and what the Highlands Rally developed to in its final years, if you like, is really nothing more than a series of slaloms. But the navigational rallies, in a lot of cases, the navigator works harder than the driver. And I remember a lot of the navigators used to complain they didn't know where they'd been because they didn't have time to look at the scenery. They just were working with the clipboard and the pencil and paper and later on the calculator the whole time. But I think the Sunday afternoon rallies are the ones that people are really looking forward to seeing some more of. And I'm going to be in there doing what I can to help out with it.
Well, I know it was. I think we have generated a few more interested parties, and I heard a little talk about grab-all this afternoon, too, so people were being reminded that they do suffer motion sickness, having to look down and do even a little bit of calculating that had to be done with the rally, but certainly there are ways to overcome that if you're inclined.
Yes, well, that reminds me of Don Horn, who was from Moncton, who was the most avid rally navigator, one of the most avid rally navigators I ever saw. Now, this is getting away from Atlantic Sports Car Club, but he always got car sick. He always took grab-all, but he got car sick anyway, but he would not give up rallying. It gets in your blood. It gets to the point where you want to do it, you want to get out there in a rally.
Now, did he have a hard time finding a driver if he was so prone to car sickness?
No, he trained himself quite well. He kept the window rolled down.
Well, see, this is one of the interesting things you can get involved with, I guess. Well, we're certainly going to make sure everybody we're keeping everybody advised of what's going to go on for the rest of the year. Summer is very busy for everyone I know, and we're very pleased that as many people showed up and took advantage of all your hard work. But I hear you may be doing an October Night Navix for October.
Well, we're hoping to do that, and I already have a volunteer. Like I said, will you do it? And he said, yep. Walter Tennant has agreed to help sort of co-chair the committee for the rest of the year for reunion events.
Great.
And Walter is a good worker, and I think that that's going to guarantee a lot more people hear about things, and it gets done a lot sooner, and that sort of stuff. But I'm really encouraged, and the people that gave us the feedback today gave me more encouragement, and I think sometime in October, we're going to have a rally, a nighttime rally, and get together first so that if the people that aren't too interested in the rally don't have to hang around if they don't want to, but if they want to stay for an awards presentation at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, well, that's fine too. But night rallies used to run all night.
Yes,
and they finish about dawn, about time people wanted breakfast. But I don't think we're going to get that extreme with this one, but we're going to have a get-together anyway.
I think that's a great idea because it's something we really should be keeping on, and a lot of the people too looking at the older slides, and some of the older people looking at the newer slides and the newer tapes. It's interesting seeing the different classes, the different generations, but with a similar interest.
Well, I didn't bring in any of my slides. I felt that the ones that were on the tape that we showed of the old Motorsport Atlantic show were quite representative and seemed to be very well received. So maybe we'll use some of this Motorsport Atlantic show in 5 years' time to show people what it was like 5 years in the past.
Well, knowing our track record, we're all going to still be around, so you keep organizing, we'll keep coming.
Well, I'm already looking forward to not only coming for the 45th, but for the 50th anniversary. So I'm going to be around. I'm going to be around.
And we'll make sure we tell you all about it, too.
Yes, Tropical Storm Barry will long be remembered for that 40th anniversary rally. We had 17 entries start from the Sunnyside Mall in Bedford, and it took about 3 hours to wade our way through to the end. We ended up at the Shearwater Yacht Club. Now, at that time, Ben Fullerton wasn't our rally director, but I guess this got him all pumped up, and he is now our rally director, so we're looking forward to a few more of those fun events, and we will make sure that we keep you posted. We have interviews now coming up with Pettipaw Racing Team. It's our local IMSA entry at the recent Moosehead Grand Prix. And local drivers John Nicholson and Dave Smith were there, and of course we were there too with our cameras and spoke to them a bit about what was happening with that weekend. And keeping in mind August coming up, they are going to Motorsport for an IMSA race up there, and we wish them well. We'll see what their plans are. Here they are.
A local entry in the IMSA class, which is the whole set of racing is new to us this year, and this is new to these two guys too, but racing isn't so new to them. This is John Nicholson, who was co-driving with Dave Smith in the number 70 Forbes Coachworks Credit Union Atlantic Dairy Queen IMSA entry. How are you doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Car's been really reliable this weekend, and we're probably, I guess, doing better than we had expected. We qualified 14th overall, and I guess coming in, we maybe didn't think we were going to do that well out of the 20-some cars that are here. So we're of course, the main thing is to finish. That's 3 hours long race, and finishing is the main thing. So we're debating how hard do we run the car and all the rest of it. Will it run an hour on gasoline? All these good things that you can appreciate that we're kind of questioning at this point.
Well, that's true because this is a brand new car to this particular series or entry. It's not a new car around, though. Tell us a bit about it.
No, it's not a new car. It was a car, I believe, if I've got my history straight, it's a car that was originally built by, well, it's a Junior Henley stock car chassis, although it was never used for stock car racing. It was built for road racing and was raced by Murray Edwards in the Trans Am series years ago. Well, not really all that many years ago, 88, late 80s, I guess. And Eugene picked it up a few years ago, and it's, I guess, been getting more reliable as time goes on. People throw lots of effort at, going over things and double checking and triple checking, and it really hasn't missed a beat this weekend.
Tell us what class you're in. There are several classes running in the IMSA series. Can you straighten that one out for us?
I'll try. I'm as new to IMSA, I guess, as a lot of us are around here, but there are basically three classes in IMSA. There's the WSC cars, the sports racer-based cars, where you have things like the $1 million Ferraris and things like that floating around, and then you have GTS 1 and 2, and they're, for the most part, tube-frame replicas of cars that you'd recognize on the street, like Ford Mustangs, like our Camaro. There's a few cars that are built on real chassis, the original chassis, like Porsche 911s and things like that. And the split is basically on engine size. I believe it's up in the neighborhood of 4 liters. If you're under 4 liters, you're GTS 2 car. If you're over 4 liters, like V8 Camaros and things like that, you're a GTS 1 car.
So that's your class, a GTS 1?
GTS 1 Camaro, yeah, with a 302 V8, yeah, small V8.
And a lot of work. When did you guys put this together? When did this whole idea come together?
I came on board kind of late in the whole thing, late winter. The offer was made to myself to co-drive. I believe Eugene and Dave had probably been working on it since late last summer, early fall, kind of knew that they were heading in this direction and were planning for it at that time. But a lot of hours have gone into the car over the winter, and yeah, from everything from rewiring to engine work, transmission work, just basically everything on the car. And I guess all the work now that's gone into it is showing in the car being so reliable so far this weekend.
This is really your first race. You've done some tuning and testing, but with the Grand Prix so early in the year, it's pretty early for all of us.
Yeah, it's the car's had probably 30 laps of tuning and testing put on it before we arrived here, and then just the time we've had here. So we're kind of still sorting things out. So it's very pleasing to qualify 14th with that very little bit of time under our belts.
Well, they chose a couple of good drivers, obviously. What is the schedule for tomorrow now? It's a 3-hour race, and as you've mentioned earlier, you're wondering about fuel and how far it'll run. What is the strategy for now?
The strategy as it sits right now is to do 2 driver changes. We're looking at 2 gas stops. Dave Smith will start the race, drive about an hour, come in, we'll change drivers, fuel the car. I'll go out, hopefully do an hour, and then when it needs fuel again, come back in and we'll do a driver change, refuel, and then back out and finish. We're wondering at this point whether the car can run a solid hour on fuel. That we'll find out tomorrow.
There are only a few things that you can plan on, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes. The weather forecast is still good. You have wet tires and rain tires, or dry tires, but surely you hopefully will just use the dry.
Hopefully so, yeah. It would be nice to have it a dry race and warm and sunny for everybody. It makes it nice for the drivers and nice for the spectators, too.
It'll be a little hot in that car, so you lose a little weight anyway, but we hope you have a really good time, enjoy yourself, and have a good finish.
Thank you very much.
We have the other half of car number 70's Petitpas Racing Team here with us, Dave Smith. Dave is no newcomer to the Moosehead Grand Prix. He's won it several years, actually, but not in a vehicle like this. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm doing just great, Debbie. We're just glad to be here running our first IMSA race. It's really nice to have it in hometown here. We've got a lot of friends and relatives here all pulling for us, and it makes us feel real good.
Yes, that would be a big bite of the budget if you had to drag all the friends and fan club around with you, but this is nice and close to your home base. How do you like the car?
I like the car. The car's working well. definitely, if we had about a spare $1 million, we could certainly make it go faster. But given the budget that we have and everything, I'm very pleased with everything.
Qualifying time is very respectable. You must be happy with that.
We're really happy with that. We're the top qualifying Canadian team here, and we really didn't expect to be there, to be honest with you. So we're looking for good things tomorrow. Really, we hope to finish. That's the name of the game. John and I have talked about it, and we want to finish. So I'll probably drive a little slower than my usual pace because we want to try and make the car last. That's the name of the game. Fuel mileage could play a factor in this too, so we'll be trying to get a little bit of fuel mileage in there too, probably, Debbie.
Well, I know racing, there's a lot of discipline in racing, and you're right, you're going to have to try and hang back a little bit, but it might be hard to do with some of those guys tearing by you, and you knowing deep down inside you could catch them.
Well, you're absolutely right. It's going to be, really a friend of mine, George Perry, that used to be on John Risley's AC Cobra team. He called me up this week and wished us good luck, and he said, David, he says, I'm just going to tell you one thing, don't chase the rabbit. So I thought about that a lot, and he's right, and I'll try and discipline myself as much as I can, I guess.
Now, will this be the only IMSA race that your team does this year?
No, Debbie, we are going to do both Canadian IMSA races here. Good Lord willing, we're going to be at Motorsport for the August 13th race, and we hope to make some improvements to the car between now and then. The race at Motorsport is only an hour long, so I'll be driving that. We won't need a driver change, but we're looking forward to Motorsport. I've been on Motorsport before. The last time I was there, I had a first place finish in my other Camaro, and I really like the track. It's like a giant Atlantic Motorsport Park, so we're looking forward to that as well.
That'll be exciting because this will be quite a shakedown race for you, and it'll give you lots of time to do any practice in between, or any tuning and testing and any repairs. Will you be bringing it out to AMP?
Yes, I believe we're going to bring it to AMP. We'll probably take in one or two of the races there to do some further development to make some more improvements for the car before we go to the next IMSA race.
That sounds great. We look forward to seeing you there, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Enjoy your 3 hours and watch that discipline curve.
Thanks for dropping by.
Your local guys, Bob Brothers, and they seem to have an axle problem. It could be a slipping axle half shaft coming off in that car. Wayne Taylor. Let's check the laps now.
Unfortunately, they didn't finish that race, but we'll make sure we tell you how they do in Mosport in August. That's our show for this week. Stay tuned.
I'd like to thank my sponsors, but I don't have any.